Hello and welcome to Ivory Blush Roses. My name is Lisa and it is a new year. Today we're going to take a look back at the stitching projects that I finished in 2023, and we're going to take a look forward to some future projects that I hope to work on in the next couple of months. There's a part you're going to play in this, so stay tuned for that. I did not get a lot of stitching done in 2023. I managed to finish two things. The first thing I did was this mug mat. This is a faux paper piecing and borrow stitching project that I did back in the beginning of the year. It's a mug mat for my sewing room table and I love it and I use it practically every day that I'm in my studio. I love the texture of it and I love the colors of it, and it was one of the things that kind of got me back into stitching. I'm really pleased with that finish. The second thing I finished was the Herringbone Runner that we did in the rambling sessions. We started this back in August. I actually started it back in 2015 when I received the piece at a Crazy Quilt retreat where we did a gift exchange. Sometimes it's fun to work on something that you didn't actually piece and plan because it makes you think outside of the box. I ended up doing all herringbone stitches on this, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out, and I'm so grateful to have it complete and to have been able to use it this autumn. It's the only other piece I actually completed in 2023. I did stitching on a few other things, but I didn't finish anything. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, November and December tend to be really busy months. We have a lot of family activities, and there's the planning of holidays, and there's just so many things taking place. The whole world seems to be bent on January 1st, you got to start new goals, and you have to start new resolutions. We're going to start new challenges and new projects. I don't know about you, but I get to January 1st, and I need a breather. I am ready for a couple of weeks of chilling out. So that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to tell you how many projects I'm going to stitch or make too many plans, but I do have a few things that I'd like to do, and I think we're going to take January as a catch-up month and finish a few of these unfinished projects. The first thing I'm going to finish is my wool Christmas tree. I am loving working on this project, and even though it's January, I don't want to stop. So I want to finish this. I'm going to look forward to having this project out and using it next Christmas, and it will be so nice to not have to worry about trying to finish it in time. So we're going to get it done now. I'm really happy with how the stitching is going, and I only have a few seams left. I've continued stitching on it beyond the videos that I've published, and I'm going to keep doing that, and then I may stitch the last seam or two and finish this in one video, but I'm really looking forward to getting this finished. Now, another rambling project that's not finished is the autumn bell pull. I got as far as completing the embroidery on my block and stitching them together. I filmed that part of it, and then I couldn't find a fabric that I was happy with. I really wanted some Osnaburg cotton, and I have that in each one of these blocks, and I thought I had a big piece of it, but I looked and couldn't find one. I bought my first piece of fabric in probably 2 years, and I'm going to be using that to finish this piece, and I'm looking forward to being able to display this next autumn. Those are two big projects to finish in January. And right now, that's the only goal I have, is to finish those two. They're both within reach, and I hope you'll enjoy following along, even though they're a little bit out of season. Now, I have two other projects that are kind of ongoing in the works projects. Let's show you those really quick. One of them is my black pearl project. Now, I've shared this in a video a couple of months ago, and I've not worked on it since. But once I get the Christmas tree and the bell pull, this is the next finish that I want to work on. I'll need to put the backing on, And I was thinking I was going to be using this dark blue as the backing and binding, but I've changed my mind and I'm going to use this beautiful brown fabric with blue flowers and leaves on it that I just love as the backing, and then my quilt label will look really nice on that. And I'm going to use the blue simply for the binding. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I need to do some quilting around the hexagons. I need to attach the faux paper piece borders at the end. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a little bit of quilting in this outside border. I may do some borrow stitching out there. I'm not positive yet, but once I get all of that done, then we'll bind it in the dark blue and that project will be finished as well. So that's probably my number 3 project to work on and finish. We'll see if I can get to it in January. It might be a February finish, but I'm looking forward to getting that done. A standalone video that's going to be coming is my Cathedral Window project. I am about 2/3 of the way done on this. This has been so much fun, and I'm looking forward to finishing this. I have been filming as I have been making this, and so eventually there will be a video on the making of this project. So that's a project coming in the near future. Once we get those finishes done, I actually have a huge inventory of unfinished Crazy Quilt projects. I have 3 projects that I'm interested in working on. I'm going to let you choose which new rambling project I should work on next. Let's take a look at the 3 contenders. I have this block that is what I call my Scottish block. It's probably the oldest unfinished project in my bag of stuff. Well, not quite. We'll get to that. It's the oldest unfinished project of mine that I have in my stash. I pieced this in 2008, the first year I started crazy quilting, and then I've stitched a seam here and there on it, and I've decided that I would like to make a pocket for a denim tote bag with this block. And so I'd like to get this finished and get a tote bag made that I can be using. That one should be pretty simple. So there's 6 seams on here. Most of the seams are pretty short. It's not going to take a long time to do this. I'd like to get that finished. So that's option number 1. Option number 2 is my Midsummer Fairy project. I love this block, but when I pieced it, it was also fairly early. It was either late 2008 or 2009 when I pieced this block. And my skills were not quite up to what I want to do with this block, and I wasn't sure how to proceed. So it's been languishing. I did stitch that one beautiful seam. It's actually a feather stitch that's then expanded into this beautiful ferny seam, and it's one of my favorite seams ever. And so what I want to do with this block is I want to bring some of these violets in the corner and tumble them off down. There's moonflowers or white morning glories. I want to tumble them off of here. There's light from a moon, so maybe a moon. I'm thinking about some type of a moth on here. There's also some pink flowers in the background, so there's going to be some little fine pink flowers. I really want to just pull this out into the block, and then this piece will probably get framed. If you're looking at it and thinking that's not square, you're right. It is not square. As I said, it was one of the earlier blocks that I pieced. So that's option number 2. Then we have option number 3, the project from my mom. Now, she had stitched a crazy quilt pillow in a craft group that she was in. Unfortunately, in a fit of thinking I can't keep everything of my mother's after she passed away, I foolishly got rid of that crazy quilted pillow. About a year ago, I really cleaned this room up and I found this. It is a second crazy quilt pillow top that she started but never finished. This one is a little bigger project. It's got a lot of seams and finishing to do on it. I'm thinking this needs some simple, bright embroidery to go with it. It's definitely a little out of my comfort zone. I'd like to get this finished. That is option number 3. Once I finish the Christmas tree and the autumn bell pull, which one should we work on next? All three of these are things that I hope to work on this year. They're all things that need finished and gotten off my list. I would love if you would let me know in the comments below which project you think I should finish next. Should it be my mother's pillow, the Midsummer Fairy, or the Scottish block? I'd love to know what you think. There's my look back at 2023 and looking ahead to the first couple of months of 2024. Mostly catching up and then working on a few more projects to finish. I also am working on a video on creating your own stitch book, which probably we're looking at February for that. I have a video that I've been working on about my Crazy Quilt project inventory, so that may be coming. We'll see on that one. I really am looking forward to getting some of these things finished and sharing that journey with you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all the time that you take to watch these videos, and thank you so much for your comments. I deeply appreciate them. I read every single one of them. Until I see you next time, happy stitching, happy new year. I'll see you in the next video.